time for This Week in Clarksville. And now, here's your host, Stephanie Miller.
Welcome to This Week in Clarksville on this Thursday, December 15th. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. Let's start at the Sango Walmart, where the Christmas spirit was alive during Shop with a Cop recently. Take a look at all these smiling faces. So youngsters, they paired up with an officer to shop the morning away for toys, but also some winter items. As you can see, the kiddos, again, having so much fun there. Dalen Bridges, officer with the Communication Relation Unit, tells us there's also something extra special that happens during this event.
But really what's special about this time is some kids will get what they really want, right? But if they're siblings, they'll be like, hey, what can we get from mom or dad, right? So they'll come together and they'll grab something for their mom, and they won't get anything for themselves, so that's pretty special once we get that. And every time an officer picks a child, usually they keep up with that child, and it's a special moment when they see the child down the road.
The Clarksville Fraternal Order of Police collects the money for this program. Each child this year had $150 to shop with. If you would like to donate to Shop with a Cop or would like to apply as a participant, reach out to the Clarksville Police Department. Holidays fill the air with cheer, but can also be a source of sadness and stress for so many. I sat down with a licensed counselor to learn how we can make the holiday blues a bit more bearable. Like other areas, small local businesses are the heart of our city. Well, coming up, how the Tennessee Small Business Development Center can be a source of information and training for any local entrepreneur. And then 3 marketing tips for social media to help your growing business from 100 Cups Academy. Coming up, we visit Manna Cafe Ministries to hear how one man's mission to provide food to those who need it lives on.
I just love your living room set. Do you mind if I ask where you got it?
You're not going to believe this, but Rooms for Less.
No way. I thought with the whole less thing.
No, not at all. The whole less is really more quality, more name brand, more selection.
Excuse me, one moment. Rooms for Less? Yes, I'm calling about a living room set. Great, I'm on my way.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the Happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. We are here at Manna Cafe, open since 2010, serving those in need in our community since that time. Started by Kenny and Vicki York. Right. Kenny passed not that long ago. We have Ken Shipley with us today to share with us how they continue on their mission after a pretty significant loss of someone who did a lot for those in our community.
Yeah, sure did. Well, what we have done is, even the morning that Kenny passed, we came over and had a prayer and met with all the staff and the Corps volunteers, and we went back to work. So we haven't stopped since. I think the day of his service, 2 weeks later, that afternoon, we shut the kitchen down, but other volunteers brought in food for those folks that come on Saturday evenings for a hot meal, and and had food, but that was the only thing that we didn't do since Kenny's passing. So.
Wow. And I mentioned this and wanted to highlight Kenny because the show is about those who make big differences in the community that we get to call home, and Clarksville is a phenomenal place. Those who work here at Manna Cafe make a huge difference. Those of you who make your donations, you make an incredible difference. And as Ken and I were talking, those who have to give up just a little pride to ask for that help, they make an incredible difference here in our community. So let's talk about what you guys bring in, how people can contribute to the work that you do.
The biggest things that we need are monetary donations, any kind of food donations, especially non-perishables, because we can put those away for a while. But any food in general, volunteers, we run off volunteers. We have 25 or so, 27 staff members now, and growing because of some of the programs we're becoming more involved with, but we need 3 times that many volunteers to help out. So, we do have some core volunteers that are here every day of the week, or at least 3 times a week, to help with everything that's needed. But we always need folks who come just, once every 6 months or once a month or whatever they can do to help out. So. Yeah.
And you're seeing the video now of their distribution. So this is a Monday. You're seeing kind of what goes in and out of here and the work that's put in, and those people that are coming in to get food boxes, to get food for their family. So you see there's a lot of work that does need to be done. And this work is done pretty much 7 days a week.
7 days a week, yep. So we do food rescue with our trucks 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. The largest, of course, is Monday through Friday from all of the stores in town that we're associated with who can give us food to rescue. But we also get quite a large amount of food from Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And we're very associated with them to get the proper foods put out to the folks. So what we do here in this building, it's called the Big House, we give out food Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 to 4. And it's according to what we have in at the time, but everyone who has come to register with us gets at least 80 to 100 pounds of food once a month. So right now we're back to pre-COVID numbers, which we're putting out between 2,500 and 3,000 shopping carts of food a month.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And then you also provide a warming center, is that correct?
We do. It's called an emergency warming center. Mm-hmm. It's across the street, across Oak Street over there, called The Refuge is the house. Mm-hmm. So we have about 60 cots up for emergency warming center when the weather calls for it. We also, if the weather stays too cold during the daytime, we keep the warming center open for 24 hours a day, which we did several times last year, probably, I'm not sure how many days, at least 12 or so days, 24 hours. And also this summer, when it was those 100-degree days, we had cooling center open.
Right.
So,
and that's definitely needed that time of year. For those who need your services, how do they register? Do they just come here to the Big House?
Manna.
Okay, to Manna.
Come to Manna. Okay. We have an intake area so that at 10 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can come in and have an ID and a piece of mail that has an address on it and fill out the proper paperwork so that we can determine what amount of food that you get. I mean, according to how many people in the family and the income level and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
And what about those volunteers? Do they come here to sign up as well?
They do. Actually, you can get on the website, on Manna Cafe Ministries website, and click on the volunteer to initiate the process anyway. We have a volunteer coordinator who gets back in touch with everybody.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I do want to ask, kind of before we end, 2010 when this started, Manna Cafe got going here in Clarksville. Where did Kenny see that need, and how did that work at that time?
Oh, let's see. Kenny was going through a rough period of time himself, I think, for a while in the late 90s and early 2000s, give or take a little bit of time there. He lived in his truck some. He got a job at Second Harvest Food Bank in Nashville, and that started getting his chops honed to eventually come back to Clarksville, which is where he's from, Clarksville and Dover, to establish Manna Cafe. And he felt the calling. He's very very religious and spiritual person, and he felt the calling and the need to do that. So he and Vicki came back up here and started Manna Cafe on the weekend of the big flood in May of 2010. Yeah.
Are you guys, because I know your staff meets regularly, are you surprised sometimes at the numbers of individuals and families who need that extra help?
Yeah, and the numbers seem to be going up. I mean, they, at least from what we can figure out and from talking to other agencies, not just in the immediate area, but in the southeast. And this last summer, it was hard to find food, especially meats, even with Second Harvest. And Second Harvest serves 46 counties in the state.
Right.
And they get I think their mothership is Feed America, and everyone was having a hard time getting some. So we reached out further to start grabbing as much food as we could from Feed the Children. Weight Watchers in Portland, Tennessee have been donating a lot. The Church of the Latter-day Saints has helped us immensely with some connections and distribution themselves. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, because Kenny always said our job is to work ourselves out of business, and that's a hard one, you know, because it's, you know, I won't say it won't happen, but the numbers definitely are back to pre-COVID time. Yeah.
So what they do here at Manna Cafe, again, can't be done really without support from others. So not just this time of year, but all year round, 12 months a year. If you can, make that donation here, monetary or other, by your time. We always talk about how important it is to give your time and how valuable that can be. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we end out here? We need the help. We appreciate you stepping forward and helping any way you can. It's very, very important to the community. It is. Yeah. Ken Shipley, thank you so much for your time. Thanks. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Don't go anywhere though. We have more coming up on This Week in Clarksville right after this.
Hey, I'm John, one of the family owners here at the City Forum. Some people think I'm great at the games and attractions here, but I'm not. I'm fantastic. It's your mom. Might want to pick that up. Go low with 18 holes of mini golf. Channel your inner Ricky Bobby on the go-kart track. Play in Clarksville's only 7D motion theater. 10 lanes of family fun bowling. Don't forget about our big birthday party rooms. So come on out to the City Forum and try to beat some of my high scores.
Here at the Journey Louis team with Benchmark Realty, we pride ourselves on the service that we provide our clients.
We believe in delivering a level of service that is above and beyond what is expected.
We don't cut corners, and we are always available. We are committed to learning and continuously sharpening our skills.
We're social media experts, we're tech savvy, and we embrace change.
It is our unending desire to be our client's realtor for life. We are the Journey Louis team, leading you home.
I am now with a licensed professional counselor, Melody Shipley. Melody, thank you so much for your time. Wanted to sit down with you to talk about this time of year. You have the holidays, Christmas right around the corner. You have the new year coming up. This can tend to be a difficult time for many. First off, how do we start dealing with, I don't want to say winter blues, but maybe the holiday blues?
Yeah. So yeah, it can be a really difficult time for many people. That are struggling maybe with some anxiety and depression, things like that. But then also just for anybody who's like overworked and overstressed and things like that. And so I think it's really important to really take some time for yourself and engage in what we call self-care. And some things that you can do are like giving yourself like extra time to go to work. Maybe waking up like 5 or 10 minutes early, but then also like if you're really struggling with like the weather and the rain that we just had all week and things like that, you know, investing in something like a light, you know, a UV light or something like that to put in your over your chair when you're sitting down in the evening, that kind of thing. And then making sure that you still take the time to, even though we're so busy and, you know, shopping and things like that, taking the time to give yourself rest and not be so concerned necessarily about making sure that everything is exactly right.
How do we, I guess, go about talking positively to ourselves? Because sometimes we're kind of our own worst enemy. And
Right.
I'm using myself as an example for this. I am my own worst enemy with sometimes negativity.
Right.
How can we kind of keep in our head to speak positively to ourselves?
Yeah. One thing that I like to do for myself is like just put a Post-it note on your bathroom mirror, you know, that, hey, you're okay, or, you know, you're the best, or you're worth it, or, you know, you're beautiful, you're wonderful. Making a list of all of your positive qualities and saying, I am, you know, beautiful, I am worthy, I am a good friend, I'm a good listener, and making that list for yourself of all of those things. But then there's also, like in today's technology world too, you know, there's apps and things like that. There's an I Am app that you can get download on your phone, and it sends you daily positivity messages and things like that, that, you know, that are I am, you know, blessed, or, you know, whatever it happens to be, and it's a free app. You don't have to pay for it. So
I found some wonderful things on YouTube, positive affirmations. So that's something my husband kind of tries to encourage me to do on the daily. Do you, I mean, is that something else, just like hearing those affirmations?
Right. Just hearing those affirmations on a daily basis, you know, even multiple times a day. That's one of the really great things about that I Am app, because you can program it to send you those affirmations like 10 times a day, you know, or if that's too much, you can program it to send you one a day, you know. So
I like that a lot. Now, Melody, what about those who have had a loss this time of year? They're, you know, trying to either deal with a recent loss or they're dealing with a loss, you know, that happened a few years ago.
Right.
How should they move through this season?
Yeah. And yeah, loss can be really difficult, especially when you come to the holidays and maybe this is the first holiday or the 10th holiday after that loss. And finding, giving yourself time to grieve and be able to feel those emotions is really important, instead of just trying to like push them away. But also like finding things to like honor that loss, honor that person that you're remembering every year, can be really helpful too, in being able to say, hey, they're still part of my life, even though they might be gone.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you feel would be helpful to those listening to this when it comes to this season and getting through it the best way they can?
Yeah. So the other thing that I really think can be really helpful too is I realize that it's like chillier outside and cold outside, but getting outside is a really positive way to just be in the moment and be able to, like, instead of worrying about so much about what might happen in the future or what's happened in the past, it helps you maybe focus more on right now, and right now you're okay.
Melody, thank you so much for your time and the tips that you just kind of did give us for us to use the best that we can. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, and thanks so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Well, stick with us. We have more coming up here on This Week in Clarksville.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the Happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
back to This Week in Clarksville. It is now time for our Sports Minute with sports reporter Brady McAtamney. Kind of a different setting for us today, Brady.
Yeah, we got some awesome holiday cheer here at Downtown Commons, the big old Christmas tree. But of course, it's time to talk some sports. The biggest thing that people in Clarksville will probably want to hear about is that on Tuesday evening, the Austin Peay women's basketball team went up to Murray, Kentucky to face their rivals, the Murray State Racers. Overcame a big deficit and won the game there in Murray, Kentucky. So a huge win for the women's basketball team. Head coach Brittany Young and company getting a big win up there against their rivals. More of a statewide thing as well is the NIL, name, image, and likeness passed with the Tennessee board. So that means high school players will now be able to make a little money off their name, image, and likeness if they were to sign a brand deal, say with F&M Bank or Main Street Clarksville. Not plugging it necessarily, but who knows what'll happen. But that gives high school players potentially a chance to make a little money for their image and likeness. So very interesting. We'll see what'll happen there. As long as some scores going on here, we have Rossview defeating Northwest in both boys and girls basketball on Friday, as well as Montgomery Central falling to Cheatham County, both of those teams on that day. You can read all about that on Main Street Clarksville, of course, with much more.
Where else can we find all the information when it comes to sports in our Clarksville area?
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at Brady_MSP and tune into our podcast every Thursday, the Main Street Preps North podcast with myself and Blaine Keller, our Robertson County guy.
Awesome, Brady. Thank you so much for all of that information. So you have it from Brady, where to catch him, and all of your sports highlights and information from Clarksville. All right, stick right here. We have more coming up on This Week in Clarksville right after this.
Here at the Journey Louis team with Benchmark Realty, we pride ourselves on the service that we provide our clients.
We believe in delivering a level of service that is above and beyond what is expected.
We don't cut corners and we are always available. We are committed to learning and continuously sharpening our skills.
We're social media experts, we're tech savvy, and we embrace change.
It is our unending desire to be our client's realtor for life. We are the Journey Louis team, leading you home.
So, I just heard you talking to Jane about your gorgeous living room.
She was just asking me if it came from
Rooms for less, is that true? I mean, I always thought with the whole less thing.
Not at all. I mean, the whole less thing's actually more. You get more quality, more name brands, more selection.
Oh, but what about the table? I mean, there's no way.
Rooms for less.
Is this Rooms for Less? What time do you guys close? Yes!
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. I have the pleasure now of having Liz Snodgrass with us. She is from the Tennessee Small Business Development Centers. Thank you, Liz, for coming in and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, because we really want to touch on the vital work that the Tennessee Small Business Centers do for Tennessee as a whole.
Sure.
So kind of give us an overview first off.
Sure. So our parent organization is the Small Business Administration, and we have a host organization. We are located within 15 different sites within Tennessee. And particularly for Clarksville, our host organization is Austin Peay State University. So we serve a 7-county region. It is Cheatham County, Dickson County, Houston County, Humphreys County, of course Montgomery County, Robertson, as well as Stewart counties. And so our role is to really help anybody who is interested in either starting a business and they're at the startup phase, or somebody who's been in business for a little while and just has some challenges that they're dealing with, and we try to fill the gap in whatever challenges that they might have. We're big on training and education, and really being able to understand what our clients' needs are from that perspective, so that we can provide. For example, we have a social media and digital marketing workshop coming up, and so we try to post those workshops that we have coming up so that people can take advantage of typically a very, very low cost or free services that we provide.
Can you share with us the amount of money that comes into our state from small businesses?
Sure. So from the standpoint of in our annual report from 2021, The state of Tennessee, there was an investment of roughly $140 million that was invested in Tennessee for small business. And so that's huge. And we're part of that. So we're very, very proud of the fact that we're able to make an economic impact, not only in Clarksville, but also the surrounding counties of Montgomery County.
Oh, 100%. And I know here in Montgomery County, we have a number of small businesses that are really trying to thrive and coming off of a pandemic. We had several, unfortunately, that had to shut their doors.
Yes.
How are you guys helping them navigate now to make sure that they are generating the money that they need to stay open, to stay afloat?
Sure. So during the pandemic, we were able to get funding for many of our small businesses through the PPP program. And then also now we're just really trying to strengthen their balance sheet, really trying to help them, as we were talking previously, there's always going to be a time of recession. Right. There's always going to be a time of boom. And so it's really trying to plan accordingly in those times of boom to be able to, set things aside so that when that cycle hits, that it's a recession, that businesses are still able to sustain. Right now, of course, we have the supply shortages, supply chain issues that many of our small businesses are dealing with. So we're trying to really diversify where their supplies come from so that we can help them and they're not caught short of a particular item or whatever they need for their business. So it's those challenges that we really try to address with our clients so that they know what the other options are. And honestly, when you come to the Tennessee Small Business Development Center, you're not only getting the knowledge base and the business consulting that me and my cohort, Len Stoltz, has. He's our business consultant that has wealth of knowledge and years of experience. All of our business consultants throughout the state have either owned a business or currently own a business, or have ran business operations. So they have intricate knowledge about how to run a business. And so you're tapping into not only the wealth of information that we have in our center, but all of our centers throughout the state of Tennessee. So if we don't know an answer, we can pick up a phone and connect them with somebody that does have that answer. And so we're able to tap into everybody's knowledge base.
That's amazing. So anyone out there, small business owners, those of you who are entrepreneurs looking to open that business, you are not alone. And again, there are people here to help and give you that helping hand. Well, before I ask kind of the final questions of where we can reach out to you, how we can find out about the classes that you guys are putting on, the training courses, is there anything else that you would like to highlight?
So we have a Facebook page and we have an Instagram, and we have, of course, on our website, tsbdc.org, there are numerous classes, on-demand training, as well as in-person and virtual classes that we have. And you not only can take a look at what we have as a center, but also all of those across the state of Tennessee and take advantage of all of those. And we welcome feedback. We welcome people to let us know what is it that you're challenged with so that we can try to address some of those challenges that you're having. And if you are a small business owner, we welcome you to come and contact our office to talk about what challenges that you're facing in your business so that we can try to assist you in any way that we can. Of course, all of our services are of no cost to you. Some of our trainings do have a small cost because we do have an expert consultant that's coming in to talk about some of the workshops and topics that many people are very, very interested in. So.
Fantastic. And I'm sure a lot happening after January once we get into 2023. Liz, thank you so much. She is the absolute sweetest. You are so kind. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are welcome. And I look forward to the next time that you sit down with us. Thank you
so much.
Stay right here. We have more coming up on This Week in Clarksville after this.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the Happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
Give it up. Where'd you get it?
Rooms for less.
Get out! You gotta be kidding me!
Have you ever noticed that the guys' voices get really high when they get excited? I haven't really noticed that before.
Oh yeah, you should see their selections of sofas and recliners. I mean, oh my gosh, I about lost my mind. I should take you there sometime. I mean, there's more stuff that I want to get. I can't believe you got all this from Rooms for Less.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. We just heard from Liz Snodgrass from the Small Business Development Center, the Tennessee Small Business Development Center. She was talking about some of the training courses that they do host here at the Press. I just attended one just moments ago, and this is a marketing coach, Jason Elkins. He has 100 Cups Academy. First off, Jason, thank you for your time and all of the information today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. So, and I wanted him to share with us, for our small business owners, whether you're new or you've been existing for a while, 3 ways how you can keep your small business up on the ownership in your marketing. How do they do that?
So the main point right now that we're seeing is we have to be personal. We have to get our own brand out there. We have to get ourselves out there. You want to be in the pictures, whether you like seeing yourself in them or not. It's not important. Right. You need to be in your pictures and videos about your business. So that personal aspect comes through. Super important right now, video and picture content.
Fantastic. So what are some of the other ways?
We don't want to miss the channels that are hot right now. So we want to be thinking about things like TikTok, things like stories on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is one of the fastest growing platforms that we have right now that has a demographic that's both older and younger, and they're really pushing for e-commerce to happen on that platform. So if you're a maker or you sell something, Instagram would be a great platform for you to focus on. And 60% of people are only viewing story content. So make sure that you're posting stories on your Instagram and Facebook pages right now.
All right, and then the final tip.
The final tip is this is a long game. So you're not going to have one win that's going to entirely change your business. It's going to be bits and pieces, and do not stop posting content. Do not stop focusing on the next step.
So it's businesses, it's a marathon.
It is
not
a marathon.
A sprint. But again, Jason Elkins with 100 Cups Academy, thank you again for your time. And if you're interested in any of the other training courses put on by the Tennessee Small Business Development Center, you can go to their website, which you see the link right below us right here. Check that out, and they will have those training courses posted there. Stick with us. We have more coming up on This Week in Clarksville right after this.
Here at the Journey Louis team with Benchmark Realty, we pride ourselves on the service that we provide our clients.
We believe in delivering a level of service that is above and beyond what is expected.
We don't cut corners, and we are always available. We are committed to learning and continuously sharpening our skills.
We're social media experts, we're tech savvy, and we embrace change.
It is our unending desire to be our client's realtor for life. We are the Journey Louis team, leading you home.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way. When flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage, it ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. We'll meet Meringue, Mona, and Augustine the guinea pig. All 3 of these loving pets are resting and keeping warm at Montgomery County Animal Care and Control. and all are waiting for their forever families. Again, all 3 are currently at Montgomery County Animal Care and Control. If you're looking to adopt, make sure to visit to see if your forever pet is located there. Well, before we wrap up, I have a couple places for you to visit, one being 435 Madison Street for the Christmas tour of trees. You can check out 40 beautifully decorated trees at that location. And then head over to the Customs House Museum and Cultural Center for a pretty cool holiday train layout. It is the Huff and Puff model trains, the Snowflake Special. Now you can head over there Friday, Sunday, Wednesday the 21st, or Friday the 23rd. And then lastly, don't forget about the drive-through Christmas lights at Clarksville Speedway and Fairgrounds. The lights will be up until January 1st. Now for a carload, it is $30. If you happen to have 8 people in the vehicle or more, that charge goes up to $50. Thanks so much for joining us for This Week in Clarksville. We hope you have a wonderful Thursday and a blessed weekend. Stay safe and see you next week.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of This Week in Clarksville. We'll see you next time.